Alright people, what's happening? So today's video is going to be a Q&A, mainly questions about myself personally. I'm going to be doing a separate Q&A for fitness types questions. I'll ask you guys to comment on my recent Instagram post with the questions and things that you have. So that's what I'm going to be going through today. Okay, so the first question is, how did you meet Simon? I met Simon in primary school. We went to Murchison together. I'm not entirely sure as to what grade we met each other, but I would assume that he was a day one. So geez, so that, what does that make it, since we were 8 years old or something like that? So that's pretty crazy. That's been a long ass time. Interruptions. Okay, so the next question is, where do you always look in your photos? And this is quite a funny question, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know at that specific moment where I was looking. You see, a lot of the pictures that I take are in nature reserves and nature environments. So I could be looking at absolutely anything from trees to birds to like a little river. I don't know, guys. What's your worst food? Now, I'm not really picky when it comes to foods. I mean, I'll eat most things. If I had to choose, it would probably be cauliflower. I'm not a huge fan of it. Next question is, what is your favorite activity other than working out? Because you can all tell that that's obviously your favorite one. So that's pretty funny. I played a lot of sports before I went into training. So I would say that one of my favorite activities to do other than being in the gym and training, etc., would be playing sports. Soccer is amazing, and especially indoor soccer with the small area where it's action all the time. You have to be quite fit, so it's a great way to get cardio in. You know, I always promote finding, okay, if this bug could just kind of get out the shot, that would be great. I don't want to move the camera because I'm going to lose the shot, and then I'm going to be so irritated because it's going to take me so much time to find the shot again. But okay, but back to the question here. I love indoor soccer. It would probably be my favorite activity to do other than training. Okay, so the next question is a great question, and it's one that I get all the time. What's your motivation and how did you get into gymming? So I'm going to start off this question with how did I get into gymming, and then I'll get to the motivation part later. I got injured playing rugby about 2 years ago or so. So I was out of rugby for about 6 weeks, something like that. You know, during that time, I actually had time to think and do exactly what I wanted to do, because I loved rugby, don't get me wrong, but it was never my passion. I just played it because it was a sport and, you know, we had to play a sport, so that's what I did. You were busy with the sport 24/7. It got to the point where it became unenjoyable just because that was all that I was doing, and I just was not looking forward to going to rugby after school, and I realized it's not for me, so I moved on. And I started getting to training that way because I had a friend that went to gym, and before that I did some body weight exercises and things like that at home for about a year and a half. So then I got into the gym, gave it a try, and there you have it. You know, I just moved on from there. I watched loads of YouTube videos and read articles and magazines and PDFs, books, etc., just on training, and I fell in love with the science behind it and how to progress. And then what's my motivation? I briefly touched on it. I was more so interested in the strength aspect and actually getting stronger. It's just one of those things that just really interested me, and the science behind it. There was just so much science behind it and different theories and different methods. Yeah, that is my motivation, to get in there and hit the numbers, because I know what I need to do. I know what my goals are, what I need to do to get there, and every workout has its purpose. So I know that if I want to reach this goal, I need to go in there and kill it no matter how I'm feeling, because we all have those days where we don't want to go to the gym, we're not feeling it, you know, we just want to lay in bed or whatever the case may be. You just have to push through, you just have to know the end goal. That's how I work. I know my end goal, I know what I need to do to get there, as I've said before, and I just go and do it. I try not to make excuses, because if you make excuses, you're never going to get it done. You're stalling the process to achieving that goal, put it that way. So I know that I have a certain amount of time here on earth. So the more I stall and the more I procrastinate, the longer it's going to take me to achieve that goal. Thus, shortening the amount of time and the amount of goals I'll be able to hit in the future, you know. Hopefully that makes sense. Best advice I've ever gotten. Somewhere along the lines of consistency and doing what you love. You know, you have these chats all the time and these speakers, and he's made so much money, or he's just become so successful and look how happy he is. But at the end of the day, often we never even follow our own dreams. You know, we're so busy looking at other people achieving this and that, and that's great, don't get me wrong, but we never think that we're good enough to actually do that ourselves. After a while, I started picking up on the whole concept and the idea of how much potential I have and every single other person has, and I figured this is really what I'm wanting to do. So regardless of what other people think, regardless of the situation where I have to start from, you know, how big the goals are, all these little factors, you know, the environment, whatever disadvantages, it really doesn't matter. But I realized that I want to do this and I'm going to do this and I will make it work. It's just the kind of mentality that you have to have. It's not arrogance whatsoever, it's confidence. And I'm not being naive either. I understand that it's going to be a difficult journey, and this ties in with the lessons and things like that that I've learned. But, I'm up for the challenge. So that's probably one of the best lessons that I've ever learned. Or advice, basically, that I've ever been given. So I changed the context of the sentence a bit throughout my description, but I meant advice. So it was somewhere along the lines of that, and it's really helped me. And I've never been so happy and fulfilled before, because I was constantly doing things that other people wanted me to do, and I wasn't really wanting to do them. It wasn't really my true passion. There's a lot coming, trust me. It's not just going to be fitness. There's a lot coming. I've got a lot planned. My least favorite exercise to do, I would probably say hamstring curls. I do them all the time because I know I need to, but they're just so painful, guys. It's just, you really have to get in the zone and just do it. Otherwise, I would probably just skip them. It's just painful. Ask anyone that goes to the gym and actually trains legs, because a lot of people don't. Just throwing some shade there, but yeah, they're pretty painful. So that's going to be the end of the video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, drop a comment with any ideas, criticisms. Also, please be sure to check out my Instagram in the description. That's all I've got for you guys today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm out.